had one look at me and gone, oh, fuck this. Luckily, most places in the country I need to sort of cockney myself up, rough myself up, but in this neck of the woods, I feel I might have to posh myself up. It's nice to be here. I shouldn't sound like this, to be honest with you. I'm Scottish, as the photo outside portrays. But I don't know how I've ended up with this accent. I was brought up on army bases. And I reckon as a child, even though my parents weren't officers, I saw the officers and I saw them get what they wanted. And I thought, I want what I want. I must be like them. And I emulated their accent. But it was only as I got older I realised that most people in the world think that people that sound like this are cunts. Can't change my accent now though, can I? Sound like Guy Ritchie. And there are degrees of cunts. That's enough of the C word early doors. I won't use it again. Can't guarantee the other C word. Commitment. It's nice to be here. It's not too far a drive from me. I live in Woolwich. Does anyone know it? Yeah. It's less a part of London and more like a hemorrhoid hanging out the arse of London. People that said that they knew it. Why? Have you visited somebody in Belmarsh prison? It's such a shithole you can't actually tell when Belmarsh prison ends and Woolwich Town Centre begins. It must make it quite hard to guard. Town centre, not the prison. I haven't always lived there. I used to live in Hackney, in the East End. Exactly. But it got all trendy, you know. And I thought, my work is done here. I can move on. I hear Woolwich really needs my help. So that's where I live now. There's extra security because of the prison. You know, even doing day-to-day things like going down to the bank. Went down to my bank the other day trying to pay off the credit card. I went down there with my credit card and my debit card. They're both Lloyd's TSB cards. So can I pay off that one with that one? She said, that's quite a large amount of money, Mr. Whitney. Do you have any form of ID? No. I've never needed it to pay off my credit card before. I said, yeah, well, this is a high security area. I said, I'm perfectly aware that it's a shithole. Let's just skate over that for a minute. Both of these cards are in the same name. Let's assume I'm not the real David Whitney. What do you think I've done? Nicked his wallet and gone, now what I'm going to do is manage his money more efficiently. They get this shit off the bank all the time, don't you? Get ringing you up, asking you if you want a loan or a new mortgage or something, and they ring you up and go, hello, is that Mr. Whitney? Oh yes, I'm from Lloyd's TSB. I've got some wonderful offers for you, but before we go any further, I need to ask you some security questions to check that you're David Whitney. You phoned me! For a start, I do this for a living, so those phone calls normally wake me up. Do you know how weird it is to get a phone call waking you up going, prove you're you? I'm David Whitney. Yes, but who is David Whitney? Have I woken up in Inception? You can't wake up in Inception. Oh, that's a fair point. I always test them. I won't give them anything. I go, hey, I don't know you're from Lloyd's. I'm not going to tell you anything about my account until you prove that you are from my bank. What was the last bar I used my debit card in? It's not how it's meant to work, so it's not how it's meant to work. I'm not telling you anything unless we get this answer, come on. Well, okay, I'll put your mind at rest, sir. The last bar you used your debit card in was the Coach and Horses, is that right? I've got a fucking clue. have given me a very good idea where I might have left my debit card. It's not for security. You know, if you're anything like me and you do your tax online, if you're self-employed, if you're like me, you'll leave it to the last week in January. I know you can do it in April the year before, but what is accountancy if it's not against the clock? It makes it exciting. So I always wait till like the last week of January, so it gets really white knuckle. And then I realised, God, I haven't got any passwords. I haven't got the passwords from last year. Where did I leave them? I had no idea. Probably moved house 5 times, just to avoid debt collectors, and mainly the Inland Revenue. So they went, where are my passwords? I'll have to send up for new ones. So you send the email, I've lost my password. Does it come by return of email like every other password on the internet? No. These ones come by homing pigeon, with a bad sense of direction. And when it arrives, is it the password? No, it comes in the form of a riddle. You have to remember your first pet's maiden name, the city it lost its virginity in. Is this for security? Of course it got. Who is going to hack into my computer to do my tax return for me? Well, I'll give him some expenses he can never explain. They say that the banks aren't lending, that's bullshit as well, isn't it? You know, they've just rebranded themselves as these little colourful adverts on the television like Wonga.com and QuickQuick.com. You know, and they go, oh, it's money for free, it's money for free, are you sure? Let us pay for things. And then you look at the white writing on the white background at the bottom. It's over 4,000 to 7,000% APV. What? Surely there's a digit missing. A little decimal point can't be 4,000%, surely. I mean, if we let... Maybe the man who was typing it was eating at the time. A crumb from his sandwich went underneath the decimal point button. Maybe a seagull came in his office and diverted his attention while he had his finger on the naught. Maybe he fancies a girl at the other cubicle and he just wanted to show off all big numbers he knows. Because it can't be 4,000. Because if it is, they're saying, if you're stupid enough to take this loan, you don't deserve any money. So I have applied for one. But I'm not very good with money. I'm not very good. I'm always getting those letters from the bank because I've gone over my overdraft limit, telling me I've got a fine. That's fining me for being poor. How ridiculous that is. That's the bank going, look, we agreed that you would have never less than this amount of money. And you have less than that amount of money. So we're going to fine you. Then I'm going to have less money. Yeah. For that, we're going to fine you. It was a Labour government that made that legal. A Labour government made fining people for being poor okay. Unbelievable. Not funny. In the slightest. But you do get all this jargon from your banks for security. It's not for security. They just want you to fine you for doing things wrong, like that. Like the fact that you can't get hold of those passwords. It's not for security. They just want you to miss the deadline. I mean, I'm not a pedant. I'm not a pedant. I wouldn't take a Kinder Surprise back to the shop because it wasn't genuinely surprising. How would that conversation go? You go back into the shop and go banging on the counter. Now listen here. I bought this in good faith. Opened it up and it was a small toy. Which was exactly what I was expecting. What did you want? A surprise. Such as, surely that can negate the point of it being a surprise. Can you give me an example? I don't know. An apology apology note from my ex-girlfriend. That would have been a surprise. That would have been a miracle, sir. You know her too. Statistically, it's likely. To be fair, you are right to do that. It is cheap, isn't it? It's very cheap. Getting up here, slagging off an ex-girlfriend, very cheap. Well, fair or not, ultimately, I have made her up. I mean, I do have ex-girlfriends. It's just that joke isn't about any of them. Specifically. Last one was odd. Very odd. I met her at a Green Party meeting. I did some work for the Green Party at the last election. I wanted to do something for the environment. But the Green Party are good people. They're not politically ambitious. More to pity. They're good people, but the Green Party is not a place to meet girls. They don't wash. I mean, we all want to do our bit for the environment, recycle, be less wasteful, but she took it too far. So when we slept together, she said that she didn't want me to use a condom because she didn't want any more plastic to go into a landfill site. Yeah. I thought it was a funny name for a vagina as well. Not entirely inaccurate. Got seagulls. Couple of shopping trolleys. See what you like about her though, she had a mouth like a Dyson airblade. There isn't a man in here who the first time they put their hands in a Dyson airblade did not go. This is a very nice sensation. What else could I put in here? Always too high, aren't they? I'm fine. She was all right, the girl from the Green Party. She was okay, she was a good woman. You know. I know, hilarious. There's a communication problem. That was a big complaint. He said, I didn't communicate enough. You don't communicate, you don't tell me how you feel. I think a lot of men have had this complaint from their ladies. But ladies, come on, you're just as bad at it as we are. You know, you bottle things up. Man can really upset his lady, he didn't mean to, he's an idiot. He said something out of turn, really hurts her. He doesn't even know he's done it. Because you ladies, you rise above it. You don't say a word. At the time. 2 weeks later, when your man buys the wrong type of organic yogurt, she goes fucking mental. You're thinking, really? Is this about yogurt? What have I really done wrong? I'm not going to tell you. If you're ever in that situation, you want to know, and you ask her straight up, what have I done wrong? If she uses that immortal lie, if you don't know what you've done wrong, if she does that, don't start listing things that you've done wrong. There's going to be shit on that list she doesn't know about. You're in a conflict situation and that information on a need-to-know basis only. Relationships are all about communication, aren't they? But all relationships start off on dishonesty. They have to. You know, because when you meet somebody you want to be in a relationship with, you make the mistake of trying to be a better person than you really are. Maybe you fool them on the first date. You pretended to be strong, sensitive, solvent. And she'll find that. Especially if you have to take her home to Woolwich. You know, it's because you shouldn't, like, just be honest, because the first date you fool her, the second date you fool her, third date you're thinking, this is exhausting. When can I tell her I'm a dick? It'd be much easier just to go up to a girl on a first date and go, look, I'm a dick. But I've been observing you, and you look like you're a dick at about the same level. Let's not see if we can't make this work. Because I've told some lies I'm not proud of. To ladies, anything to impress. I told them that I'm an airline pilot, a doctor. I told a girl from South Africa I liked her accent. She believed me. But you know, sometimes it goes too far, especially if you're both lying. If you're both trying to be the person you think the other one wants you to be. I turned up to a date once and the girl in question was reading the Daily Mail. I went, oh, I'm quite liberal. Can I date a fascist? But it had been a while, so yes. So I thought, well, I want to be the man she wants me to be. Over dinner, I'll just throw out a couple of right-wing remarks. Turns out it wasn't her newspaper. She was flicking through something in the bar, but she was really keen that the evening went well, so she tried to out-right-wing me. I said something homophobic, she said something racist. We both went home thinking the other one was a Holocaust denier. Which was odd. It was very odd. She was Jewish. And I'm a Catholic. Not a real Catholic. I don't believe in God. But the Catholics and the Jews have got a bit of beef. That whole, you killed Jesus. No, you killed Jesus. It's got to stop. Don't blame another religion for killing Jesus. Get your religion to take credit for it. Because if nobody had killed him, I don't think the story would have caught on. Without the back from the dead bit, he's just an amateur magician. Now, I don't mean to be disrespectful if you are religious, I'm going to leave you on this. I don't know what to believe, I'm agnostic, I read a lot about it, things like Richard Dawkins and things like that. If you haven't read the best-selling book, The God Delusion, I'm going to ruin the ending for you. No God. But another of his argument is he says that everything in the natural world has a reason for being there through evolution, through natural selection. And if you could find something that didn't have a reason for being there through evolution, that would prove intelligent design and therefore a creator. And he says that there's nothing. But I put to you, you lovely people of Kenya, the one thing that has no evolutionary reason for being there, the male G-spot. Why is it up our arms? There's no evolutionary reason for that. That means intelligent design. Well, maybe not intelligent design, but certainly design with a rather juvenile sense of humour. I mean, this is not a practical joke. What happened when I've got imps going with a tray of G-spots trotting along to them in trick fell, and G-spot went in a man's arse, and all he did was go, I'm not getting out. I'm just not going to tell God.
I'm here.
Fuck, I've got you everywhere. I've dropped a G-spot in a man's arse, I don't know what to do.
Just make them all the same.
Put that fuck with their mind, a pleasure button in their bum.
Might have to put in the Bible they're not allowed to touch it.
That is both an intelligent joke on the homophobia of the Bible and a cock gag at the same time. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to see you again soon. My name's Whitney. Thank you very much. fantastic act for you. Let's get scratch straight on. I'm going to count 3, bring on Sean Collins, make him very welcome. After 3, 1, 2, 3, go! Mr. Sean Collins, ladies and gentlemen!
Hello. We're from Canada originally, but I've lived in the UK for 8 years. I know that's pretty much the standard response to hello.